the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
Today, October 11th, is the feast of Our Lady of La Leche, also known in English as Our Lady of the Milk. Our Lady of La Leche is a special feast that was preeminent in Spain and was brought to the United States, to the Americas, by the early Spanish explorers and settlers in the 16th century. The devotion to Our Lady of La Leche has been prevalent in Our Lady under this title, interceding for those who are struggling with fertility or looking for healthy outcomes for mom and baby to their pregnancies. Now, the Spanish settlers inspired, because of their significant devotion, in some of the earliest Catholic settlements in this nation, including in St. Augustine, Florida. Pretty incredible Catholic history there. There's actually a very large shrine, the National Shrine of Our Lady of La Leche, there in St. Augustine, Florida. Now, the origins of the devotion to Our Lady of La Leche are pretty significant. There was a man in Spain not long before the settlement in the 16th century here in the United States, where this man in Spain, a peasant man, his wife was very ill while pregnant, and it was anticipated that due to complications, both his wife and his baby in the womb were expected to die and not make it through the birth. He was walking home one day in the midst of his wife's pregnancy when he saw a group of young boys playing a game, and they were tossing a statue back and forth. Well, he intervened. The statue was a statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary, and he took the statue and, out of reverence, rescuing the statue, saw that it was Our Lady, and it was Our Lady nursing the child Jesus. He took the statue home, and he would pray frequently, daily, for his wife and his baby to survive the delivery, that both mom and baby would survive. Well, it's attributed through Our Lady's intercession that they did indeed have a safe delivery. Both miraculously survived and lived beyond the birth. And that led to the widespread devotion of Our Lady, known under the title of Our Lady of La Leche. Then this devotion was brought here to the United States as well. I was reading a pretty incredible story in Crisis Magazine earlier today about a man by the name of Walker Larson, and how Our Lady of La Leche healed their infertility and helped lead them to treatment to help. He knew, I read in the story, that as a teenager, he had actually already been told, I don't know why, that he had a much higher chance than most men of being infertile. He knew this when he got married. They knew this, and it was a very prevalent issue for them. And month after being married, cycle after cycle, his wife had irregular cycles, and he had an uphill battle of the likelihood of infertility. Well, at one point, he was told by a priest about the devotion to Our Lady of La Leche and about the shrine to Our Lady of La Leche in St. Augustine, Florida. And he and his wife discerned going there, visited the shrine, were praying for the intercession of Our Lady of La Leche, and a handful of months later conceived. And they attribute their baby and the healing of their circumstances, both male infertility and female infertility, to the intercession of Our Lady of La Leche, and a cure that she also helped lead them to, and some of their research in diving into the history of the conquistadors and of the Spanish conquest and the deep Catholic roots of Florida, and diving into the research of the settlers to the New World, they found something significant, that while this devotion to Our Lady of La Leche became very prevalent, at the same time, there was a significant experience of infertility by the settlers there in the United States for the first time in the New World. And they were trying to figure out what that was. Well, the Peruvians advised the use of what we know is a root called Maca. You may have heard it. Some people, some healthy hippies, throw it in their protein shakes and use it for other health reasons. Well, it's pretty neat because in very early data in some of the most primitive writings, there's actually information going back to how Maca was used as one of the early treatments for fertility. And what's neat for me when I was just reading this story is that Maca is known today to support reproductive health for both men and women, and has been known for being a natural treatment for fertility and polycystic ovarian syndrome, known as PCOS for women today. It's something I actually, if you know a little bit about my infertility story, ended up taking, but I had no idea that if you dive deep into the research of the early Catholic roots of Florida, of the United States, of the early settlers from Spain, that Our Lady of La Leche in this infertility crisis and the prayer for her for intercession, and also the adoption and realization of this natural treatment with no side effects, was something that was very significant at that time. And there's a lot of medical data today where Maca is known for being a very effective treatment for women and men when it comes to fertility. So I thought that was pretty phenomenal. I was excited reading the story because that's something that's helped me in particular with polycystic ovarian syndrome and fertility. So how have you worked on it? You know I love our NAPRO doctors, but I also have found significant success with a lot of the peer-reviewed data pointing to maca root and in some of its most potent forms. So I was going to include that. I love hearing success stories for fertility, and I enjoyed seeing this tie in today to this great feast day of Our Lady of La Leche. And maybe if you want to read the story in full of this couple where both the husband and the wife were facing infertility. This entire episode of Trending with Timmerie is on the Relevant Radio app. The Relevant Radio app is completely free and updated daily with fresh articles, podcasts, and prayers. Don't delay, download the app today, and thanks for listening.